Welcome to Horizon Hub, and today we're going to be discovering the top 10 things to do in Cumberland Island National Seashore. Join us as we explore this beautiful and pristine national park located off the coast of Georgia. Whether you're a nature lover or a history buff, there's something for everyone on this remote and stunning island. Just be sure to watch until the end so we can let you in on an incredible secret hidden gem that very few know about. Number 1. Tent pitching under a quiet, beautiful canopy. You can certainly spend a day on Cumberland Island, but staying the night is the best way to enjoy this offbeat place. The Grayfield Inn is a private hotel on the island. However, camping is the most cost-effective alternative. Camping reservations are highly recommended, especially during the busy summer months, spring and late fall. Sea Camp is the most developed campground with hot showers and flushing toilets and is located next to the ranger station. A grill, fire ring, picnic table, and food cage are provided at each campground to keep hungry animals at bay. Wilderness and backcountry campsites are offered for the more adventurous campers who are prepared to hike for several kilometers. Stafford Beach, a wilderness campsite with bathrooms and cold water showers, is located 3.5 miles from Sea Camp. If you're looking for more offbeat places to camp, you can try the other campsites. Though campfires are not allowed and there are no restrooms available, so you will need to carry a burner with you or a live straw to purify water. Number 2. Marveling at the Dungeness ruins. Cumberland has been inhabited by locals for at least the past 4,000 years, long before it was designated a national park. Several centuries passed while the island was privately owned by army generals, groundbreaking war heroes, slave-holding wealthy landowners, and finally, the wealthy Carnegie family, who had taken possession after the native Mocama tribe was driven off by colonial invasion and disease in the 17th century. Thomas M. Carnegie, brother of businessman and steel tycoon Andrew Carnegie, began construction of the magnificent Dungeness residence in the late 19th century. Thomas passed away before it was finished, but his widow Lucy and their children stayed at the house until it was sold in 1925. After that, Dungeness was abandoned for a long time, and in 1959, it was completely wiped out by a fire. The National Park Service purchased the island, including the remains, from the Carnegie family in 1972. Number 3. Monitoring wild animals, including horses gone wild. You can find armadillos, wild boars, ravens, manatees, marine turtles, white-tailed deer, bobcats, otters, and a whole lot more on Cumberland Island. The wild horses and foals that populate the island are one of the most cherished sights. These wild horses are related to the famed Chincoteague and Assateague herds since their ancestors were introduced to the island by the Brits in the 18th century. Beautiful as majestic creatures are, you should hold your horses before getting too close as they are fully wild animals. Current estimates say that there are roughly between 150 and 200 of these incredible horses on the island now. Number 4. Being alone on a deserted beach. Only such a select number of visitors are permitted on Cumberland Island National Seashore at any given time due to its status as a national seashore, which necessitates previous reservations. The 17 miles of pristine white sand beaches remain deserted even when all the campsites are full. The only other visitors are the occasional wild horses, dolphins, and seabirds, giving you a unique opportunity to have serene, alone time on some of the best hidden beaches in the United States. Number 5. Taking a bike trip around the island. The 45-minute boat voyage is the sole option for reaching the island. However, the ferry does not transport automobiles. Hence, the only vehicles on the island are those used by the rangers and private residents, meaning you'll have to leave the jeep at home. However, if you're looking for a way to travel around the island in style, bicycles are the most efficient mode of transportation available. While bikes are not permitted on paths, they are quite useful for getting across Grand Boulevard, the long main road connecting the Dungeness ruins and the Stafford Plantation. Current prices for bike rentals at Sea Camp Trailhead are $16 per day or $20 per night. Although private bicycles cannot be transported onto the ship, they can be transported to the island by private charter. Number 6. Walking around the island. If walking is more your style, there are more than 50 miles of paths on Cumberland Island that pass through coastal woods, marshes, interior wetlands, historic sites, and of course, beautiful beaches. The parallel path is a popular and challenging hike that extends around 6 miles from Sea Camp into the area's remote interior. And if you're looking for a shorter hike, the Dungeness and river trails on the southern end of the island are ideal. Number 7. Seeing magnificent dawns and sunsets. With Atlantic Ocean to the east and Cumberland South to the west, the long, thin island offers several vantage points from which to see unbelievable morning dawns or spectacular evening sunsets, setting the perfect mood for a romantic moment with your sweetheart or an unforgettable memory with your children. Number 8. Looking for a rare artifacts on the beach. It is illegal to remove any living creature or part of a creature, including a skeleton, off the island. However, tourists are welcome to bring back sharks' teeth and empty seashells as mementos. Not a bad consolation prize. After a storm or a period of high waves, the sand is in the ideal condition for beach combing to find those hidden treasures. Number 9. Being completely inactive and relaxing. There are many things to do on Cumberland Island, but sometimes all you really need is to unwind and take in the breathtaking scenery. As we're in such a fast-paced society, coming to Cumberland Island National Seashore and merely hanging a hammock for the limbs of a mighty southern live oak and dozing off can be the best solution to a lot of problems. Number 10. Building relationships with neighborhood raccoons. Camping on Cumberland Island is a great way to become acquainted with the island's abundant raccoons and their charming, opportunistic ways. Although the food cages provided at Sea Camp locations are useful for stowing away food and hygiene items, campers should be ever vigilant. You never know when one of these brazen creatures may swoop down and circle your tent in broad daylight for some of your delicious snacks. Not only does Cumberland Island National Seashore have beautiful beaches and hungry raccoons, but I have one other secret hidden gem for you. It's called Plum Orchard, and it's definitely worth a visit. Once a Carnegie mansion, it's open for tours and can be explored with the help of on-site rangers or as part of a concessionaire's tour. What makes Plum Orchard unique, besides being one of the 4 mansions on the island, is its potable water source. It's actually the only place on the island, besides Dungeness Dock, the historic district and Sea Camp, where you can find drinkable water. Located 7 miles north of the Sea Camp Dock, a trip to this location must take some planning due to the distance. Though if you're planning a trip to Cumberland Island National Seashore, be sure to add Plum Orchard to your must-visit list. While packing for your trip, don't forget to bring plenty of food and drinks, as the park is very secluded and remote. To get there, you'll want to take the ferry to the island, which runs most days of the year, with departures at 9 a.m. and 11:45 a.m. and returns at various times throughout the day. Just keep in mind that during the winter, the ferry doesn't run on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and there is no 2:45 p.m. run. Also, make sure to stop by the Cumberland Island National Seashore Museum in St. Mary's to get a sneak peek of what offbeat places await you on the island. We hope you enjoyed the video, but now that it's over, what did you think? What activities or locations on this list will you likely visit first? Leave your comments down below. And don't forget to hit that like button. Also, click subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more from us in the future. Be sure to also check out our previous video of the top 10 places to visit in Venice, Italy. Thank you for taking the time to watch our list of the top 10 things to do in Cumberland Island National Seashore, and I hope you enjoy your trip to this beautiful remote paradise.